Hi, everyone, and welcome to It's Raining Soulmates weekly show. And today's topic is how true love opens your heart, but not all at once. Before we get started, let me just introduce myself to those of you who haven't met me before. I'm Ellen, the founder of It's Raining Soulmates, a business that helps, supports, guides, mentors women on their quest to find their soul right partner. I'm not a matchmaker or a dating coach, but I'm someone who helps women move through the inner obstacles that are really in the way of them finding the partner to share their lives with. And I work mostly with women over 40 who are single, but I do work with some younger women as well who are completely keen and committed to find their soul right partners. So, the topic today, oh, and one more thing before we get started is the free gift for today is, let me just look at the exact title, the Stay Grounded Checklist. And this is going to keep you in check when you are experiencing what I'm going to be talking about today, that over the top feeling. And just let you check into, is this all in place? And should I go here or should I slow down? That kind of thing. It's always good to slow down, of course. So, yeah, true love does open your heart. You do feel all that amazing stuff, movie kind of stuff, but it doesn't happen instantly as the movie kind of stuff says it does. Um, when that happens, and I think most of us have experienced this if we didn't get together with our true love when we were young, and if you're watching this, you probably didn't, or you are no longer with that person for whatever reason. But most of us have experienced that instant attraction where your walls just fall down. You feel like you've known this person forever. The chemistry is out of the sight, and you mistake that for love. My definition of loving someone is the more you know them, the more you love them. So if you're feeling that instant thing, it's a red flag, of course. There are things going on, and you can resolve them by getting together, somewhat resolve them but with someone who you feel that incredible tingling instant attraction with. But it is really hard to move through that because all your childhood needs are being stirred up, and your inner child feels like she's running the show because she's getting what she wants, and that's always a danger sign. So there are ways to slow things down, and if you're with the right person, they'll be willing to slow down. Because when you feel that instant connection, it's a clue, and a helpful clue, that something unmet as a child is needed some look at, because otherwise you'll keep creating that sense of getting it and then realizing you don't get it and it's disappointing. And I say this to my clients, and it's not something anybody wants to hear, but if you did not get those needs met in childhood, you're never going to get them met, the ones that were meant to be met in childhood. And that doesn't mean you can't have a wonderful, fabulous relationship as an adult, but you can't get those needs met that you didn't get as a child. And if you're feeling instantly like you're getting those met, then run for the hills, basically, because it's going to be a lot of pain, and it's going to be a lot of strife. And you can make it work for you. You can use it as a way, as a catalyst to get through some of your stuff, but it's such a painful way. And the relationship I was with before I got together with my husband was one of those kind of relationships where my walls just came down, and I was madly in love. I thought this was my soulmate. I'd waited all my life, and here was my reward by meeting this man, and it was over the top. He did all the things that my parents never did, which should have been a clue, particularly my dad. My dad was very non-demonstrative. He was a good person, but he was very non-demonstrative, quick to anger, that sort of person, very, charismatic. So he shared that with my dad. This man was very charismatic, but he was slow to anger. He was very validating and cuddly and all the things my dad was not in those areas. So my walls just came down. And for a few moments, I got to feel what it would have been like to have had a dad that was demonstrative and loving and caring and validating. I would have been a totally different person. I would have been happy. I would have felt beautiful all the time. But the way to get there was not through this man who turned out to be deceitful. I knew in my gut he wasn't the real deal, but boy, my little girl thought otherwise. Little girl inside, or my subconscious, whatever you want to call that, at play. So it was heartbreaking. And I did land in front of my husband, which was wonderful. But I still had a lot of to work through from that relationship. And luckily I could connect the dots, between, okay, this is why I got together with this guy. And, it feels like I'm longing for him, but I'm not. I really want you, my husband, but I have to work through these feelings. So it was, difficult, but I had the skills, and it was so long. I think my earring is falling out here. It was a hard, hard journey. And why go on that journey when you can, in a much more safe way, in a therapeutic way, with a good counselor or a support system or support group, you can go through those feelings and not break your heart over and over again. So it's very important that one understands that true love is a slow boil. You can have those wonderful feelings right at the beginning, but that mad kind of just wanting to throw everything out the window for this person, that's dangerous. So let me see. So that instant intimacy where you feel like I've known you all my life, there's something at play there that is not real. Let me see. What else? Too much too soon, all those kind of things. So I guess I've said everything I really wanted to say on that. But just regulate yourself. When you meet somebody like that, it doesn't mean you have to shut the whole thing off. You can enjoy that attraction, but just regulate yourself. Write down your feelings. See if you can meet this person less often at the beginning, maybe twice a week instead of every day or whatever, and see if you can slow it down enough that you really get to know the person. And then the real love that you might develop for this person isn't confused by that instant patterned seductive thing. So set your boundaries early, spread out the time between dates. These are tips. Focus on your friendship first. Does he have the values you want? That man I went out with, he did not have any of the values I had. But I threw all that out because I was, getting all this loving attention and words and touching and stuff that I hadn't got as a child. So develop a friendship first. Do you have enough in common? Are your values the same? Are your worldviews the same? All that stuff is important. And check in with yourself regularly. Make sure you're just, keeping an eye on whether your walls are coming down a bit more swiftly than you can keep up with the feelings around it. So be sure and get your Stay Grounded checklist in the comments below. Just click and get that free gift. It'll keep you on track if you're one of those people, which I think most of us women are, who have experienced that instant thing, and we want to protect ourselves from doing that again. So get that and join the private Facebook group, my private Facebook group from Solo to Soulmate. I put in lots of tips in there. I go a little deeper with them because it is a private group. I have various things happening in there, contests once in a while, and I've got interviews happening in there right now from a summit I did. So it's all the information you can get. The more you can get about this soulmate quest, the more you will be prepared and ready for your soulmate when that person comes. Okay, much love. See you next time.